Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the True Blue Podcast. I am your host, Zach Sucardi. I got lost in that song. I was just jamming for a minute, you know what I'm saying? But I got to do this podcast, so I got to come on and talk my shit. But yeah, that's my friend's band, Uncle Skunk. They're one of my favorite punk bands ever. I mean, really, they're really good. Like, it's not even a bias of, like, my neighbor was the drummer, and I became friends pretty much with the whole band as I entered high school. They were super talented. Yeah, really talented. And I still have their demo tape. It's probably my most prized possession tape. So shout out to them. Yeah, so we're just rocking and rolling. It's session 66. So when I played football, I wore three numbers, 61 and 66, and then 29. 66, I was probably my best. I played linebacker, and I was really good. Really good. And then everyone, once I turned into high school, everyone I had to work, so I couldn't really continue football, but I was really good. And I wasn't really good at most sports. I sucked at baseball. I had horrible hand-eye coordination. My mom, she raised me as a righty, and then I became a lefty. I had more command of my left. So had she raised me as a left-handed batter and thrower and all that shit, I probably would have had a lot more strength. But because of it, I'm ambidextrous, which helps my drumming. So some things I do with my right, some things I do with my left. It's kind of a mixed bag. But it really was bad for fucking most sports. But I was really good at football, so shout out to me. Shout out to me when I was a fucking kid wearing number 66. But yeah, I'm just going to get into my deal. We'll do, since we last spoke, see what's what. Give you a quick self-care tip. I'm going to read some poetry from a poetry book that I wrote in 2007. And then I'm going to share a song. So let's get into it. Let's fucking talk some shit. All right, thunder, yeah. Love thunder. We don't get a lot of thunder out here in New Mexico. It's very much a New Jersey thing. It sounds sort of weird, but it really is. Used to get some crazy thunderstorms. Like, would scare you thunderstorms. Like, loud as fuck thunderstorms. All right, so today's All Souls Day. And I think it's Day of the Dead for those, I guess, non-Catholics. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it, it is what it is. And it's a day to remember those who have passed. That's the idea. Some people I know do altars. Well, they'll have like candles and certain other items, and they'll have like pictures of of those who have passed. My ex-girlfriend did that last year, and I'm pretty sure I gave her a picture of my brother, who he passed away when he was 7. And then her son had passed away, so she had a picture of him, and then I think her father and some other folks. So she was my first exposure to that Day of the Dead altar. And I know a couple other folks who have done it since then, so that's really cool. But in Catholicism, you write their names, and then they, at the Mass, which I went to tonight, they pray for them. And it's really cool. It's really cool. Because I got to ask some people today if they want me to pray for anybody. And it really got me thinking of all the people in my life who have passed away. And, there's some obvious ones, and then there were some that took a minute for me to remember. And then as I was writing them down, more would come into my memory, and it was just so nice to think of them. So I wrote a bunch down, and then even when I went to Mass, I prayed for some, and I'm going to volunteer at church tonight. I go to the Adoration Chapel, which I've explained before, but it's a dope chapel that, like, you just, like, go and pray. There's no talking. You just go sit there and pray, or just sit there and chill, meditate, or just sit there. It's just really nice. And I've mentioned this before, but I hope every religion has that. I hope every place has that. We can just go to a place and chill. It's kind of like, it may sound weird, but it's like going into the woods, you know, being amongst the natural elements, but you're there with Jesus, just chilling. So that's really cool. And I'm just so grateful to pray for these folks. I feel like blessed to pray for them, to think of them. You know, they're for one, they're not gone. When you think of someone, they're present. You know, when you look at their pictures, when you play their voicemails, when you talk to someone about that person and share a memory or laugh or any of those things, these people are never gone. I think, was it my friend Bethany? I forget. I have such a bad memory. I stopped smoking marijuana and my fucking memory still sucks ass. What the fuck? But this person said you die twice. The first time when you go to heaven. The second time, it was my friend Kate. Shout out to my friend Kate. What the fuck? I'm so bad with that. And the second time is when no one talks about you again. Meaning you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you remember these people. You share about them. So they're always here, which is such a beautiful thing. So yeah, I fucking went to church. It was great. So I've known this for a long time, but my name, Zachary, in Hebrew, the translation is the Lord has remembered. And I have a really good memory when it comes to people and birthdays and just friends and, you know, like a day like today, All Souls Day, I remember people. They leave an impression on me. So it just fits, you know? It really fits. And then check this out. Like the last song at church today was on page 382. So I'm born March of 1982, right? So that's a very, like, distinct number for me. And the song was called Jesus Remember Me. I mean, I couldn't make this up. Jesus Remember Me. The Lord has remembered. That's my name. I'm born in March of 82. Like, this isn't a coincidence. For one, I don't believe in coincidences. That word should be just stricken from the records. But seriously, like, how beautiful is that? Song 382, my name, the Lord has remembered. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's All Souls Day. I get to remember these beautiful souls. It's really a blessing. Yeah, really great. And then tomorrow I'm going to see a show, and the band is called Drug Church, and they're excellent. They're like a new wave punk band, punk hardcore band. So I'm excited to see them. They're playing with the Bronx, but I'm excited more to see Drug Church. I've seen the Bronx back in 2003, so this will be cool. This will be 20 fucking years later that I'm seeing them. But Drug Church, I'm excited to see them. That'll be dope. So yeah, they're building a new gym really close to me. Like, the gym I go to is already close. This one's even closer. I could walk to this one. Walk to it. And it's going to be the biggest one here in the Albuquerque area. The Albuquerque area. And then I visited this other gym today that's open like till midnight. And I need me, because I work nights, I need me to have a gym with better hours. My gym used to be open till midnight, but then COVID, they're just like, 10 o'clock. How fucking whack. Like, whatever, masks and all this whack shit, but come on, bring my gym hours back. You know, bring them back. What the fuck? So, but that's cool. This one's really fucking close. It's going to open next month, so I'm excited. I'm excited. And going to the gym today was cool, like, to visit it. Even though I'm probably not going to join, it was still pretty cool. I'm very particular on my wet area, meaning like the pool, the sauna, you know, the steam room, all that bullshit. Like, it's got to be right. And this gym only had 3 lanes in the pool. Oh, are you kidding me? My gym has 6 lanes. You think I'm going to go from 6 to 3? It's already a pain in the ass getting fucking a lane as is with 6 lanes. Could you imagine with fucking 3? Fuck that, man. Fuck at that. So I'm excited. So I'm going to stay at my gym, and they're opening up this new one right by my house. So I'm all excited. I'm like all excited. So that's a great thing. Want to shout out my friend Brian Daly. God, he came up recently in a conversation, and with my friend Tom, who I know him through. His nickname is BTD. Great guy. And when I was visiting New Jersey, I got to see him, and I haven't seen him in like 20 years. And we're not like the closest friends, like we don't text or anything, but he's a real good guy. We connect with music. We have mutual friends. Got a great sense of humor. He's an artist. And he said he listens to the podcast. And I just remember thinking, oh, that's awesome. Thank you, man. And honestly, anytime someone listens or compliments or has a comment or anything, I'm blown away. Whether it's a podcast, a poem, anything I do creatively, that someone took the time to share something just means a lot. And I've been meaning to shout him out for a fucking couple weeks, but, like I said, not smoking marijuana. I have such a bad fucking memory. So shout out to BTD. Hope he's doing well. Let's, you know what? Let's fucking talk a little quick self-care tip. This is going to be a quick one. Yeah, that's my little segue around the Halloween time. The thunder and the moo ha 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 ha. Which Halloween was I? It was I. Lots of fucking candy, and then my sister went out with her friends, and then only a couple kids came. But I said, instead of me like giving them candy, I just said, take all you want. Come on, don't be shy. Some of them were shy, but most of them weren't, so that was cool. Okay, so the self-care tip is, it's going to be about letting go. Letting go, whatever that means for you. Whatever you got to let go, typically of the past, let that shit go. And trust me, I'm no fucking expert at it. I'm still struggling with some shit from the past, but I'm doing my best. And I heard someone today say, let go or be dragged. Who the fuck wants to be dragged? Nobody. That shit sucks. It fucking sucks. So let go or be dragged. Be dragged by your bullshit. Be dragged by your past. Be dragged by your addiction. Be dragged by your past relationship. Be dragged by your last job. Be dragged by, what your parents think of you or whatever the fuck you got going on. Fuck that shit. Let it go. There's a band called Drowning Man. They're excellent. And they have a song, I think it's called like Wait and Weighted Down or some shit. But the chorus, he goes, learn to let it go. It'll make it so much easier if you could just let it go. Simple words, but very beautiful. Anyway, I have this book called The Language of Letting Go, Daily Meditations on Codependency. I'm a codependent motherfucker. I'm trying to work that shit out. And, this is a great book. It's a daily reader. Let me see if I can read today's. Is it kind of long? Let's see. Nah, it's not too bad. Okay, I'm going to read today's. But this is a great book. A great book. Even if you're not codependent, get this book. It's excellent. And even if you're not codependent, you fucking are codependent, because even in the littlest bit, I mean, we all are, and it's not necessarily the most unhealthiest shit. It's just when you're codependent to an extreme, like your boy here, you have to work at shit, you know what I'm saying? Which I am. So God bless it. All right, so November 2nd, the grief process. To let ourselves wholly grieve our losses is how we surrender to the process of life and recovery. Some experts, like Patrick Carnes, call the 12 steps a program for dealing with our losses, a program with dealing with our grief. How do we grieve? Awkwardly, imperfectly, usually with a great deal of resistance, often with anger and attempts to negotiate, ultimately by surrendering to the pain. The grief process, says Elizabeth Ross, is a 5-stage process: denial, anger, bargaining, sadness, and finally acceptance. That's how we grieve. That's how we accept. That's how we forgive. That's how we respond to the many changes life throws our way. Although this 5-step process looks tidy on paper, it is not tidy in life. We do not move through it in a compartmentalized manner. We usually flounder through, kicking and screaming, with much back and forth movement, until we reach the peaceful state called acceptance. When we talk about unfinished business from our past, we are usually referring to losses about which we have not completed. Let me read that again. When we talk about unfinished business from our past, we are usually referring to losses about which we have not completed grieving. We're talking about being stuck somewhere in the grief process. Usually for adult children and codependents, the place where we become stuck is denial. Passing through denial is the first and most dangerous stage of grieving, but it is also the first step towards acceptance. We can learn to understand the grief process and how it applies to recovery. Even good changes in recovery can bring loss and consequently grief. We can learn to help ourselves and others by understanding and becoming familiar with this process. We can learn to fully grieve our losses, feel our pain, accept and forgive so we can feel joy and love. Today, God, help me open myself to the process of grieving my losses. Help me allow myself to flow through the grief process, accepting all the stages that I might achieve peace and acceptance in my life. Help me learn to be gentle with myself and others while we go through this very human process of healing. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? The grief process. So this is a great book. Every day they have like a reading like that. They're usually not as long. They're different topics, and it's excellent. And honestly, like, there's always a gem in here, you know? I mean, just what they talk about acceptance and how it's a very human process. And it looks good on paper, but not in real life, meaning, like, you know, it's not going to be done perfectly. Give yourself a break. Learn to let it go. It'll make it so much easier if you could just let it go. All right, now I'm going to read some poetry. Let's do this. All right. So, hey, I wrote a poetry book in 2007 when I went to Seattle. And it was my first endeavor in poetry. It was what they call a chapbook, which is sort of like a zine, which is not really like, it's just like stapled. It has like a nice cover. It doesn't have like the regular book binding and shit. And it's usually just a couple pages. Mine is maybe like 30 pages or something. But this was so fucking awesome to do. And I had a dream about it recently. I called it Any Organ. I think my idea was on the driver's license in New Jersey, you could select any organ, you know, if you die. And for me, it was just like, I was thinking like, just take it all, you know, any organ, like just take it all. Like, what do I need it for? And I think that was my idea with this book. So I'm going to read a couple poems, maybe the whole thing, maybe not. There's a lot of shit in here that's, I don't want to say cringe, but it's, you know, when you write stuff and you do stuff creatively, then years go by, you look back and you're like, what the fuck? But there's some good shit in here, and it's where I was at the time. And you know what's amazing? It's just the idea of putting something out. You know, it doesn't have to be the most amazing shit ever. Some of it is the most amazing shit ever. Some of it I'm really proud of, but just that you're doing something and expressing yourself. You know, the first episode of this podcast is titled Just Start. Just fucking start. Don't think. It doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't fucking have to be perfect. So that's a biggie. All right. So let's read some shit from Any Organ. You're right. This is called Russian Girl. A Russian girl once told me I looked like her father in his youth. I smiled. She laughed. What a small world. That's a true story that happened in France. Apparently I looked like this girl's father. And then she laughed, and it was cool. All right. Okay. This one is called Suits. Birthdays for boys aren't the same as funerals for girls, but they still require a card of some sort or some kind of perishable token. With this one, I just think I thought about suits and how you wear suits, birthday suit, you know, you wear suits at funerals, all this kind of shit. And I think I like the wordplay of boys, girls, birthdays, born, funerals, girls, you know, very kind of like yin yang. And then also just kind of like talking about how like they still require a card or some perishable token. You know what I mean? So very, very interesting. This next one is called Headphones. Your song, you saw, you're so alone. This one I got from a Sigur Rós song, which they're a band that really doesn't have lyrics, but I would just like, I would hear lyrics. This is what I would hear. and I would listen to it on headphones. So I heard your song, you saw, you're so alone. Kind of like my vibe with the haiku thing, just a couple lines, but very beautiful for me. Your song, you saw, you're so alone. So yeah, that's that. This one is called Trauma Seeds. I can see the glass falling from my chest. I want to love a lot less. I want to love a lot less. I can feel the past moving in too fast. My love won't last. My love won't last. You know, to be honest with you, this also came from a song by a band called Curl Up and Die. Now, again, they're not saying this. I didn't just copy what they said, but this is like what I heard. I heard I want to love a lot less. And I used to like say that, I want to love a lot less. And then when I read the lyrics, they weren't saying that. So I took that and thought, hey, you know what? I want to make that into a poem. And I just like it. Trauma seeds, you know? I want to love a lot less. My love won't last. Again, what's so beautiful about poetry is, I mean, I'm not like signing off on this for my whole life. This is a moment in time. I can see the glass falling from my chest. I want to love a lot less. I want to love a lot less. I can feel the past moving in too fast. My love won't last. My love won't last. Sometimes, you know, you feel a certain way about love, you know. You're right. This one is called 16, 17, 24, 37, 48. If I won the lottery, I'd spend all day thinking up names for all the hurricanes headed toward Florida. When I was a kid, they had Hurricane Andrew, and it seemed like if you live in Florida, you just got hurricanes a ton. And I thought, man, if I were rich and I had just had all this money, and I also tripped out that they named hurricanes. Like, what the fuck? It's kind of weird and kind of fucked up if you think about it. Like, let's name this hurricane, and then imagine like for instance, Hurricane Andrew. That was a big one in like the early 90s. Imagine your fucking name is Andrew and you live in Florida and it fucks your shit up. Like, that gotta fuck with your head. So those are the lottery numbers that I would go with. Yeah. And then, yeah, that's what I would do. All right, this one doesn't have a title. This black beret fits nicely on my white skull. I like the wordplay there. Very nice. Black beret, white skull. This one's kind of depressing. Here goes. In a hospital, in a bed, saying goodbye from a hospital bed. I mean, you know, some people have to say goodbye from a hospital bed, you know, and I don't know. I hope I don't have to. I hope I, you know, explode somewhere or fucking die in my sleep, or I just live forever. No, I don't want to live forever, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the image, you know what I'm saying? Like the image of this. It just kind of stayed with me. Right. This one is called Haiku You. Today I found you. Tomorrow I fall asleep. It's always a dream. Always a dream. This one does not have a title. While the rest of the world masturbates on their wedding night, romance is making me famous. Making me famous. All right, let's see here. Okay. This one's called A Few Words. Bury your friends and say a few words. So many layers, so little neighbors. This just made me feel like there's so many layers to us. We contain multitudes, you know, and so little neighbors. It's like we just don't connect with each other like we should, you know. Bury your friends and say a few words. It's just like, you know, got to build on that connection. Got to build on that connection. It's importante. Okay, this one is called 11:59, like the time 11:59. Just when I thought I found the spot, the sign read funeral parking only, which wouldn't be a problem if I drove a hearse or with my lights on. I finally found the spot right behind Salazar and Sons, and when I got out I was informed that I'm going to be drug tested because parts of my car were missing. All this, and it's not even noon. This was like a sordid, weird story that happened to me, and I just took elements of it and made it into a poem. And there you go. Okay, this one is called Movers. It depends on the pens. Tune your radio to your favorite AM in the PM, so by morning your shoulders will trick you into thinking you're growing and not aging. So I beg you to take my somewhere used, somewhere new. I hear the islands are nice this time of year. I'll even ride with the goats. When I soon arrive, I'll lay across, finding myself fishing for worms in a pond. Lions of the sea, come chase me, owls of the moon, leaving so soon. All right, this is the last one. It is called Sometimes. Sometimes I weep too much, and sometimes I feel too much, but I'll be okay because most times I laugh enough. All right, so that's my poetry from any organ that I wrote in 2007. So shout out to me. Shout out to my friend Tom, who helped me put that together. All right, let's get on to the fucking True Blue Song of the Week. Let's do that shit. All right, so this song is called Mr. November by The National, who are indie rock band from Brooklyn. And I got into them around 2007. They had an album called this album is called Alligator, but the album that they put out in 2007 was called Boxer, I believe. Great album. So I got into them in that same time frame. But this album came out in 2005. The song is Mr. November. Very catchy song, very memorable song. The drum beat, the way it starts with the drum beat and then the guitar harmonics, you hear some guitar picking. It's really cool. Great kind of like intro for a song. Pardon me. And of course, most of my songs that I have great lyrics. Not all of them, and some of them are instrumental, but this one has great fucking lyrics. And I also love like month songs or like title songs or name songs. Like this one's Mr. November. I like that it's a month. I also like songs they're just like people's names and shit, or even sometimes bands that have just people's names like as their band, because it's so cool that you can just be like, you can take someone's name and it can mean something like more than just their name. But yeah, I love like season songs like summer, winter, fall. I love months, planets. Like I love when people use those types of themes. I've always thought to use themes of like different vitamins, because I used to work at GNC, different herbs and like vitamins. Some of them are kind of interesting names. So if I ever write an album, I'm going to just title them like Milk Thistle and fucking Ginkgo biloba and fucking, let's see, CLA. What else? What else do I take? I take glucosamine chondroitin. I mean, these are great names, right? The song is called Glucosamine Chondroitin. I mean, that's a fucking cool song name. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I'm going to read the lyrics to Mr. November. This is nothing like it was in my room, in my best clothes, trying to think of you. This is nothing like it was in my room, in my best clothes. The English are waiting, and I don't know what to do, in my best clothes. This is when I need you. The English are waiting, and I don't know what to do, in my best clothes. I'm the new blue blood. I'm the great white hope. I'm the new blue blood. I won't fuck us over. I'm Mr. November. I'm Mr. November. I won't fuck us over. Won't fuck us over. I'm Mr. November. I'm Mr. November. I won't fuck us over. I wish that I believed in fate. I wish I didn't sleep so late. I used to be carried in the arms of cheerleaders. I used to be carried in the arms of cheerleaders. I used to be carried in the arms of cheerleaders. I'm the new blue blood. I'm the great white hope. I'm the new blue blood. I won't fuck us over. I'm Mr. November. I'm Mr. November. I won't fuck us over. Won't fuck us over. I'm Mr. November. I'm Mr. November. I won't fuck us over. 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 I'm Mr. November. I wish I believed in fate. I wish I didn't sleep so late. I used to be carried in the arms of cheerleaders. I used to be carried in the arms of cheerleaders. I used to be carried in the arms of cheerleaders. I'm the new blue blood. I'm the great white hope. I'm the new blue blood. I won't fuck us over. I'm Mr. November. I'm Mr. November. I won't fuck us over. A lot of fucks there, but so well done. So well done. And it's so catchy too. I won't fuck us over. I won't fuck us over. Won't fuck us over. I'm Mr. November. I fucking love that shit. Such a great song. All right, everyone, that was session 66. Thanks for rolling with me. Hope everyone has a great fucking start to their November. Take care of each other out there, and God bless.